Hi everyone, today is day 22 of the Revenue Cat Shepperton Challenge, and while I really wanted to grind the whole day, I got distracted at the end. I will tell you the reason why later. So right now it's almost 3 in my time zone and it's 2:32, not almost 3, but anyway, the point is I wasn't able to achieve as much as I wanted, but then I got to know much more about this editor called as Cursor. And let's focus on the things that I have in my hand. I'm excited to try that out, but my main focus should be on Shipperton. And so I made some rearrangement on the app. I added the craft, arrange, refine things. I was supposed to kind of finish off the whole redesign because the features are not there, so I cannot ship it to my TestFlight users, and the last version I shipped was on 23rd of August and now it's 28th, so I cannot like lag on through this more. So with that I have to kind of be faster. And but when I was doing this arrange is like fully working. So what I did was I added the 2 by 2 and all the grid sections. But another thing I added while I was doing that was this aspect ratio, where you can have horizontal and vertical aspect ratios. So let's say if I choose 1 by 1 ratio, which was the default before, now I have added 4:3, 16:9. And for vertical, it is like when you're working for your, let's say, on your for your wallpaper or some social media story, Instagram story, then you can use this ratio. And same with the vertical ones. The idea is that it gives you much more better idea of how it would look while you're working on it, instead of when you're like done working on the gradient and then exporting it later on. So that's what I worked majorly on today. I do not have anything much to show. The craft UI is not good. I have to work on that. Refine I have not added. I have added back the features. The settings opens the settings. I have to add the settings. So there's a lot of stuff that are supposed to be there and not there. But one cool thing that I did was, let's say we go to this 3 by 3 one. It was a quick win. So when you double tap on this, it would bring back the dots and it would zoom out like with the dots gone. And I did it using I used it the example of working with Cursor AI, which is a new hype in the or like around developers right now. And I have mixed reactions because the thing is that I am biased in the opposite way, as that editor is mainly for web developers from what I understand, and it's not for Xcode iOS developers. So you cannot have the same powerful functionality that what web developers get with Xcode. But now I am in a fix it mindset. So what's the workaround? So I have a relatively slower MacBook. It's an M1 Pro. I say relatively because I also have an M2 Pro for my Mac Mini, which is much faster when I'm working with Xcode previews. But on my Mac, the loader would just go round and round and round. That's how I started this meshing app. Like, I'm thankful for being my Mac to be slow and the previews to not work when it's supposed to. But anyway, the previews not working well was the reason I had explored this Inject framework. It's the idea of that Inject framework is that you have a simulator open, and when you make any changes, it would recompile and those particular changes, and you can see it on the simulator itself, which is like a hot reload function that you get in React Native, I think, if I'm not wrong, and Flutter, I'm sure of that. So that's what I thought of using. So I will just show you a demo of how it works. So let's say I have this Cursor AI. I do not have Inject open. Let's say if Inject, I do not have that open, so we will go to my applications and then just search for Inject. I think there should be a better way to do this, but I'm not a terminal friendly person. I open the meshing app and then I would build the project. So what I did was, like, if you just hate Xcode and you want to run the whole project in the terminal of Cursor, that's what you can use. So right now I'm building the whole project in terminal itself. I worked with a CI/CD startup 2 years back, so I know how to work with the terminal. It's ironic, right? So what's the error here? The following builds command failed. It's in the file feature grid. I think it's because I have to add some view here. We will just say text hello. I think let's see how the autocomplete of this is. Animate. Okay, it's nice. It works well. So we will try and build it again and see how it works. So as I was saying, it's ironic that I earlier said that I do not use terminal, but here I am using terminal to build the project outside of Xcode on the terminal, on the simulator directly. And an error was encountered, unable to do because it's already booted. So we'll just close it. I need to make my command better. Like if it's already open, just run the project. I can add a if and else condition there. But anyway, for now, for the purpose of this video, I will not go and do that changes. We'll just hope it builds. So now it builds in 10 seconds. I think the first initial start was 20 seconds, which is because I am not using Firebase or any project that can bog down the build speed. So that's nice on my end. And I do not have Xcode opened at all. So that's a good start. Like my idea of working with Cursor is that I shouldn't be using Xcode, right? Because everything here can be provided to me using, like I can say like edit and say write me view for working with appearance, and I will just generate, and then it will give me a view which is a appearance view model, and I hope it has given me a view for that. Where is the view? I don't think it has given me anything except that. Let's just say where is the view? Submit the edit. And now it created directly into this into the switch case. So I would just accept, take this view out, and then put it here. Now the thing is, even though it knows that I do not have all these functions, so that's the thing. I do not like it right now because all enable group, blend mode, there are no values such like these in the view model. So it is like kind of making it up. So when I try to build the project again, you will see that it will not load, or the build will fail because of this reason. Because the biggest disadvantage of working with Cursor as an iOS developer is that I do not see the compile errors. Like this line should be a compile error, this will be a compile error, this one as well. And you can see that the following builds fail to command and feature grid, and it has not mentioned the lines, but you can see I think if I go through all the blogs, you will find it. So this is the reason I do not like working with terminal, because I just cannot, I'm a visual person, I just cannot see the output. That was not the point. The point was, let's just get rid of this view, and we will remove this view as well. And then under the feature request, so you can see that when I was working with Cursor before, it added the, where is the view with the gradient preview? Yes. So it added this on tap gesture, just like 4 lines of code, and I was like, yeah, it's working well. But now that I see it's not working as well as I wanted it to be, but it's still very early to say that. I still have, if there are so many people hyping it up, it shouldn't be that bad, right? Or it's just a hype. We never know unless we explore. That's why the titles of my articles start with exploring something. And with that, enough of yapping on cursor. We'll go back to creating meshing and redesign, because I feel like I have wasted like 3-4 hours trying this cursor thing, and that got me distracted from the redesign. So I will try to use that to compensate for that. I will use cursor to redesign add back all the new features and see how good cursor plus 3.5 Claude Sonnet is. And with that, I will come back tomorrow and tell you how it went. And if you see the new redesign, you know that it went well. If you do not, you know that it did not. So stay tuned and have a great day. See you tomorrow.